when you're getting the analysis from, I'm calling them the puppets. When I say puppets, I mean the media over there. They're all puppets, in my opinion. When you're listening to their analysis, why is it that they separate the two spots where they say, we got to talk about the offensive line. We got to build from the inside out, offensive line, as if they're on the field alone. But then they talk about the receivers, say, well, we got a huge hole. We need weapons. We need weapons. We need weapons. But they're all on the field at the same time, and they all affect each other, don't they?
Yep. But people don't talk about that. Explain that, Chris, though, for our people listening to us and watching us, because I don't know if it's really explained enough to them how that it works in tandem, and how getting an elite receiver will help your poor offensive line.
Yeah. See, this is why I think
and having a good quarterback, which I think we have.
See, this is why I think Belichick and Vrabel and these guys, the coaches in the league, this is why I think they look at the media and just shake their heads and be like, people don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because, so everybody at the water cooler out there, that's in the water cooler at work, this is what you can bring to the water cooler for all your friends at work so you can look smart and know what you're talking about.
He hasn't brought the water cooler up in a while. I'm glad you brought up the water cooler.
But this is what we're here for. We're a water cooler show. We're here to tell you what you could go tell your friends so that everybody thinks you're smart. Here's the thing. If you have an elite wide receiver on the outside, let's just take Jefferson for a minute, okay?
Yep.
You understand that two things are going to happen if you're defense playing against them. One, you're done playing man coverage, okay? You're finished. So if you're Cincinnati and you got Higgins and you got Chase, nobody's playing man on those two guys. Nobody's solo one-on-one against those two guys. Why? Because they're gonna torch you all game long. So you say, well, we'll play man and bring pressure so we expose how bad the offensive line is. Good luck with that, because those players, those kinds of players on the outside, gain separation so quickly that the ball comes out 2.25 seconds. That's it. The ball is out, because that's how good the receivers are getting separation, okay, and getting off jams and all the things you want in number one. Doesn't that help the offensive line, Mark?
Of course it does. Of course it does.
So you're not facing blitzes. You're not facing exotic pressures, okay, where you couldn't leave your back in because you don't need them in the pattern because you got good receivers. So you can leave the back in if you choose not to go empty, and you can have them block, and you can protect your issues on the offensive line. Simple. And but they never merge those together.
That ball's going to fly out of there too, because they're getting the separation, like you said.
Yeah. He hits his foot. The receiver is separated. So that lends itself to say, we go get Hunter, because we know it's going to help our offensive line. The problem is this: your offensive line, how's your left tackle going to help somebody get separation? I don't care who you are. I don't care who. The best left tackle in all of football is never one-on-one going to maintain over and over and over again the best defensive end in football. You take the best defensive end in football, you put him against the best offensive line tackle. Yeah, tackle's getting beat. Period.
Chris, in that
Especially
situation,
if there's no separation and May's going to sit back there for 3 seconds. You ain't holding up. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, and what you just described, though, Chris, you don't need an elite offensive line. You just need an offensive line that's serviceable.